she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you lusting is the one you're loving?
Elon Musk is suing the Anti-Defamation League, an organization that I've always said, what's the black equivalent to that? If there is any anti-Jewish thing happening anywhere in the world, they are on it. They're on it with lawsuits. They're on it with their cease and desist. They're on it with the attention, with the media, whatever levers of power that they have. The ADL is not letting you get away with the nonsense. And I'm like, where is our ADL? Well, the ADL has been targeting Twitter because since Elon Musk took over, paid $44 billion primarily on the backs of Black Twitter, got that Twitter under his mitts, went and fired all of the people that were there, making sure that the space wasn't as toxic as it was becoming. And now there's been this rampant overrun of pornography and anti-Jewish, anti-Black. The N-word is being peppered throughout the site like it's nobody's business, but we don't have our ADL. But their ADL is like, no, sir, this will not happen. So he was complaining that he's lost money as a result. So he is now suing the ADL. He accused the organization that works to combat anti-Semitism, extremism, and bigotry of falsely accusing him of being anti-Semitic in his platform. And he said his our advertising revenue is down 60%. That doesn't have anything. Maybe it's down because you've allowed the racists and Nazis on, and people don't want to be in league with a platform that is very toxic. I don't know about you, but yeah, advertisers are very funny about where they put their money. They want to make sure you're not promoting violence and racism and stuff. But he's blaming the ADL. He said it's down because of pressure on advertisers by the ADL. That's what organizations like that are supposed to do. If there's an egregious thing out there, they're supposed to put pressure on the advertisers. Don Imus called the Rutgers team nappy-headed hoes, and guess what? Black folk put pressure on the advertisers, and he got his ass up off the radio because radio is advertising. What do you think about this? And he has the money to sue everybody. So
I think that where are our people with the money to sue everybody? I think, like, you know what I mean? Like, either it could be a league or like this guy that's on a rampage suing all the people that got diversity efforts, right? Like,
Ed Bloom, yeah.
This one white man is on a mission.
He's not one white man. He's got money, power behind him.
He's willing to be the face of it. Let me say
that's right. That's right.
So, why do we have to? All I'm gonna say is, where is our hit on, like, we gonna sue you because we felt like you didn't have enough Black people in your portfolio. We gonna sue you because we felt like you was blah blah blah. We gonna sue you. Some of this stuff ain't even gonna pan out. Like, that's the thing. Like, some of these things may not even see a day in court. So it's
Facts.
like some of these things are not gonna have a full on, a whole. We're gonna be watching it on like court TV. Like, it's not gonna do that. It is literally like, we're gonna hit you and we're gonna see what you do about it. We know that our case may not make it. We know the case may not.
Well, this is what he's doing. I mean, he's suing the ADL. This ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere.
But it's going to tie them up. It's going to get some publicity, which is what he wants. He's obviously looks like a publicity whore. So there's that, and he tweeted it. So it's like he's playing a really nasty game. But the fact that you remove the things that would make your platform more safe for people who are marginalized speaks volumes about what kind of person this thing is, and so my question is, how do we interact? Do we stay or do we go?
You said what kind of person this thing is. I'm sorry, that made me laugh. So here's the thing though, question for you. What kind of person? So is it about a person that would do that? What is it about? What kind of person they are, as in they don't care about like Black people, whatever, or it's just like, I'm removing it because this is going to open the door to much more usage from a business standpoint. Like, this is just about building the business back up. What do you think about
Is it? But the business wasn't failing when you took it over because it was worth $44 billion. You drove it into the abyss. You drove it into near bankruptcy. You drove it. Your actions made other people come. They didn't just come because you took over. You could have taken over and been quiet. You didn't have to, talk to Trump, bring Kanye back, do all of these things. Like, you have been purposely out front, Elon Musk, in banging the gong that inspires folk like this to come on. You're the one that took away the blue check, and then anybody could get a blue check because you figured now I'm gonna have a subscription model and get people to pay for something that's valuable, but you devalued the very thing. So it's to me, it's insanity. But I also think that he has a plan. I think he wants to drive this into bankruptcy so that he can cut his losses. I think that this is maybe the goal. But I think there's a larger question about our responsibility to be involved with these businesses, right? Because you're in business. Do you not bring your full self into business? Do you not consider, because I know I do, consider the people who you're going to need to stay in business, right? Do you think about serving them, or do you think about them as widgets to fund your situation?
Okay, there's levels to that. First, let me say that contrary to popular belief, I think Twitter was actually not doing as well as we thought it was. And so I'll say that's not to say that he didn't drive it down. That's not to say that he didn't have a negative impact. That's not to say anything about him in terms of like his negative impact on what has happened. But I do think that there was other things happening that we just didn't know, because firing all that stat, like some of the changes he's making, I'm trying to step back and make an objective look at it, right? Like, you want to bring back the most toxic people. You want to, there's some of this that's like, oh yeah, there's something else happening here, but from a business standpoint. But that's not to say he's not a, not so great person. I'm not laying claim to that anyway. In terms of how do I think about my stakeholders, I think it's an interesting question, because yes, the stakeholders are who you're serving, and you have to think about them first and foremost. 100%. I do think when your stakeholders go from, a couple hundred people to a couple thousand people to hundreds of thousands of people that you can no longer really see the face of, and if you're not conscious of your workforce reflecting the stakeholders, you can lose sight of who you're serving and what you're serving. And I think that, when companies are around for a really, really long time, like, 100 years, if we look at them, either they've just gone really, really niche, and they're like, this is all we serving, and we know what these people think, we know what these people want, and that's it, right? And there's certain brands that, like, some of this is not going to rock, right? So some of the, like, oh, we're going to see your diversity efforts, is not going to rock certain brands who really know, like, nah, I'll go to court with you. But my stakeholders are what's keeping me alive. My stakeholders are the people that I gotta continue to serve. I'll use my money to fight with you about what you want to fight about, but I'm not about to publicly come out against my stakeholders. I think those are people who have been around for a while. The stakeholders no longer have a face. Okay, they have a demo. They have demographics, and if you are in psychographics that they've gotten really, really good at, it's like capitalism at its best, unfortunately.
But is this the way it should be? Omi Bell is here. Did I also mention and thank y'all Nubians, because they bigging you up. Originate, motivate, innovate, 7 steps for building a $1 billion network. Best-selling book by Omi Bell is out. We'll tweet it out. And it's already in Nubia. So there's that.
Yeah. I run my fingers through her hair as she smiles and says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you're lusting is the one